bringing you news and information from around the Pacific Command. This is your AFN Pacific Report.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of AFN Pacific Report. I'm Senior Airman Therese Garnier. On Monday, Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel issued a message marking the 40th anniversary of the nation's all-volunteer force. In commemorating the birth of the United States modern military, Hagel recognized and thanked millions of men and women and their families who have served in uniform. The Secretary pointed out that the all-volunteer force faces challenges and that it needs to continue to rebalance, adapt, and evolve as it has over the last 40 years. Tabletop events during major military exercises can often be overlooked in terms of excitement. Yet these events serve as a critical link that hold exercises like Hanuman Guardian together. And as you'll see, the mission of the StaffX has two purposes.
A fictitious nation, simulated disasters, and humanitarian responses. While at times overlooked in terms of excitement or even importance during military exercises, staff exercises are a critical tool to developing a host nation's needed skills to maneuver during a crisis. Sergeant First Class Latoya Cherry Lopez, Staff ex-NCOIC of Logistics during Hanuman Guardian in Thailand, gives an overview.
Staff exercise is to help the Thai Army with the decision-making process of just how to start from point A to point B to get the overall concept on how to actually tackle the problem and solve the problem. So we give them all the steps from point A to point B.
You could say the mission of each Staff X is twofold. Quell the Delhi crisis, and perhaps just as important, build those essential country-to-country bridges with our counterparts. Captain C was especially taken with his Royal Thai partners.
It's been fantastic. They've been very warm and welcoming, and I'm constantly amazed and humbled by how fast they're able to pick up complex concepts like military decision-making process in a foreign language and then brief it back to us. It's been a great learning experience for me, and I hope my counterpart is getting it as much from me as I am from them.
I'm very excited. I can use the things to make it better and to do it in my unit and develop the Royal Thai Army to do better.
The Staff X came to a close with a mission accomplished and bonds with the Thai Army a little tighter. From Fort Tonnerett, Thailand, I'm Christian Garzone.
Different branches of the service from around the Pacific joined forces to air deliver supplies from Japan to Korea. Real-world natural disasters were a driving force behind the effort.
Airdrop missions bridge the gap between the air and ground. Today's airdrop exercise Airborne Tomahawk brings even more together as bases and branches work as one for a single drop.
Right in the center of the DZ. What's unique about this is that this is the first joint exercise that we utilized Air Force, Marines, and Army personnel geographically dispersed all the way from Alaska, Hawaii, Korea, and Japan to utilize stocks located in Japan and to employ those air delivery stocks in an airborne operation here in the Korean theater.
Turning this airlift into an assembly line allows the supplies to be delivered and recovered faster, ensuring vital supplies are supporting both contingency and humanitarian operations.
The biggest thing is, especially here in the PACOM theater, we have numerous disasters that happen, whether it be tsunamis or earthquakes, flooding, or drought. We can run the entire gamut with disasters in this area. This operation, this exercise, displays a capability that we can rapidly employ support to any nation that requests support through proper channels, that we can effectively deliver stock, supplies, food, and equipment to any nation that requests it in the event of a humanitarian assistance disaster relief operation.
So today the skies are clear, but if the clouds do roll in, the Pacific Command is ready to go at a moment's notice. Senior Airman Destiny Chavez, Gwangju Drop Zone, Korea.
A group of Marines at Iwakuni got a chance to do something they can't always do. Head to the indoor small arms range to complete their annual shotgun qualification.
Combat engineers from MWSS 171 completed their annual shotgun qualification in preparation for an integrated training exercise, or ITX.
This is an annual training requirement. Unfortunately, we're not always able to lock on this type of training in Iwakuni, so a lot of times we're doing it as part of other exercises, whether it be as part of an ITX event or somewhere else in the Pacific region. But with a little bit of help from the ISAR, we were able to lock it on.
Although the shotgun is a requirement for combat engineers, other service members from MWSS 171 were also able to qualify.
I'm training for the shotgun course because I'm attached to CE, so there's always a chance I might be in a combat situation with CE, and I need to be prepared for that. Because if I don't know how to do it, then the Marine next to me could get injured, or I could injure them, or I might freeze and not know what to do.
Obviously, first and foremost, every Marine's a rifleman. And like I said, we're a warfighting organization and we're here to win battles. And any Marine, despite MLS, can find themselves on the battlefield. And it's up to small unit leaders to make sure that they're capable of firing any weapon, manipulating any weapon that they might come across in the battlefield.
The Marines and sailor participating in the qualification received a week-long course of training in preparation for the shotgun course of fire. Lance Corporal Amy Douglas, Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni, Japan.
Despite what you may have seen on television, the life of a military special investigator isn't all gun battles and car chases. In fact, it's quite the opposite, at least for a group of OSI agents at Misawa.
When we look behind the scenes at the Air Force Office of Special Investigations on Misawa Air Base, we can find an unexpected side of the story.
I'm an investigator with OSI, which means that it's similar to the FBI or NCIS for that matter, that we investigate all felony level crimes that are specific to the Air Force members.
Most of the time, what we do as OSI agents is talk to people. People see OSI or hear about us, and they assume that it's something undercover. We're doing things behind the scenes. But we are working to protect people, sometimes from themselves, as it comes to serious criminal offenses and investigations.
Sometimes their role on base can be a little misinterpreted.
The perception of OSI, and maybe law enforcement in general, is that we're out to get people. We're out to kick people out of the military. We want to get people in trouble. And nothing could be further from the truth. We are there to find the facts. If the facts are that the allegation isn't true, then that's what we're going to find. And we don't have an interest in proving that everything that came to us happened. We don't get paid, commission per conviction. We're just out there to find out what really happened.
This job comes with its own unique struggles.
We oftentimes talk to people on a day that is probably the worst that they can imagine or are experiencing at that time. And it's our job to make people feel comfortable enough to talk to us about that and get them through so that we can give them a sufficient investigation.
You have a hard time establishing relationships with military members because they think that you're trying to get them in trouble. So I think the toughest part of the job could be that you work really hard and people kind of hate you for it.
Just as we sacrifice for those back home, they sacrifice for us here on base. Airman First Class Scott Taylor, Misawa Air Base, Japan.
Coming up, a sailor at Sasebo fulfills an educational goal. But first, let's take a look around the Pacific Command in today's snapshots.
U.S. and Australian Navy ships conduct a patrol along with 2 Japanese P-3 aircrafts during Exercise Pacific Bond 2013. A CH-53 Super Stallion approaches the flight deck of USS Bonhomme Richard in the East China Sea. The U.S. 7th Navy Fleet Band Orient Express performs during a community outreach event during Exercise Carrot in the Philippines. And that's a look around the Pacific Command in today's Snapshots.
Sailors arriving to serve aboard the forward deployed aircraft carrier USS George Washington might find themselves with some downtime on their hands. But that doesn't mean they can't help the Yokosuka community.
New check-ins to USS George Washington often have to wait to go through ship orientation class. During this time, they're encouraged to volunteer and some choose to help the Seabees.
I've enjoyed the fact that I just come, work hard, and do what it is they told us to do. And after that, we just go out to lunch, come back, finish the day off.
The Seabees' latest project is refurbishing temporary office structures called pods.
So we're just replacing the floors, the windows, refinishing the outside. So
these volunteers are not only helping out the Seabees, but are also providing a valuable community service because the Navy Munitions Command East Asia Division would use the pods during munitions transportation.
Very appreciative of them guys coming out here and help. It's been an amazing team effort between my Seabees and the Patriot Landing guys, and we couldn't get it done without them.
It's hard work, but there's no shortage of volunteers. Because no matter what their job is, they're all on the same team. Seaman Sonia Wickard, Yokosuka Naval Base, Japan.
Many of the talented people you see on television started out small. Army Sergeant Chris Garver takes a closer look at one event on Camp Casey that could prove to be the starting point for a future TV star.
More than 100 family members join in to cheer on local children at the Camp Casey Movie Theater as they show off their talents. 16 elementary and middle schoolers sing, dance, and play instruments at this yearly event, Casey's Got Talent.
Singing Dancing with My Father.
Singing the song, Dance with My Father, this performer says singing is a big part of her life.
I remember my real dad, he's in Philippines, so I kind of miss him. That's why.
Mariella is still somewhat new to the Camp Casey community, but singing is something she didn't leave behind.
I think she's into music so much. I encourage her because we always used to sing when she was a baby, like 4 years old, 3, something like that. We always sing together, karaoke.
Hearing and seeing talent isn't easy.
Mariella is a really beautiful girl inside and out. And the first time I heard her sing, I couldn't believe it because I think that she has a talent beyond her years. And even tonight when I was watching her sing the song, I really felt the words that she was singing. I thought she delivered it very well. So not only does she have a really nice voice, but she also, I could see her being an artist.
She always said that if you're gonna sing in the stage, just like be positive and enjoy.
Army Sergeant Chris Garver, Camp Casey, Korea.
That's it for this newscast. From all of us here at AFM Pacific, thanks for watching.